2025 is just around the corner, and for today's video we are going to be highlighting the year that was 2024. Stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. Hey, how are you guys? Thank you so much for joining me here today, and Happy New Year. We are on the cusp of the new year, 2025. Can you believe it? It's hard to imagine with such a crazy year in so many stances, both good and bad. This year has been a lot to reflect on for sure. Today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about all the highs and the lows of this year, both personally and also too with the animals as well too, along with one of my favorite things to do at the end of the year, which is making a montage video of all the videos that we made throughout this past year. And it was really fun to make that. I've already made that montage, and just clipping and piecing that all together was really fun. So stick around and you are going to see a really fun montage from all the videos to come. And definitely go check out those videos as well too. If you see a video that you like, there is some really fun stuff that we've made throughout the year that you guys may be interested in. So definitely check out on those videos as well. 2024, it was definitely a year for sure. I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, seriously though, it was definitely one of the more harder years, challenging years, I would say, for me personally. Just a lot of different things that happened to me that just really kind of brought things down a peg in terms of, like, it was just a big blur in some instances, I guess is the best way to put it. This year, the best way to put it is this is the year that I dealt with the most loss personally to me. And that was really tough. Out of my whole entire life, definitely was a really tough thing. And I won't get too nitty gritty with that all. Maybe someday I will. But it was definitely one of those things that really just puts you down, you know? I mean, lost a lot of people that I love and care about, you know, and idolized and looked up to. So that was really tough. One of them being in the reptile community, Brian Barczyk, Dingo Dinkelman also too, and a couple other people as well too. But it was really tough, you know, just having those losses kind of just continue throughout the year, you know. And it really was one of those things where, despite them now being gone, just healing as a community was something really special, you know, just being able to reach out and share stories with certain people and stuff like that, and talk to people in person and stuff like that too. It was really nice to see, you know, going to Brian's funeral, checking in with a lot of people there, both in his personal life along with people in the community, was really special as well. And yeah, I mean, just beyond that too, I mean, with the other things, like even in my personal life with loss, it was definitely a challenging thing for sure. That, I mean, if you're going through it too, I'm sure you can feel the same way, you know? I mean, it's not something you truly ever heal from. And it's one of those things that just kind of carries on with you a little bit. And you definitely miss those that you lost, and I always will, for sure. Along with too, like, challenges that we had throughout this year as well, like losses from big projects and stuff like that, whether it was the purple snake, whether it was losing an entire clutch of these guys right here, which was the Stimson's pythons, which I was super excited about getting, and seeing them just kind of dwindle away one by one. It's just one of those things that sucked, for sure. But, you know, like I said before, with any failure comes success, you know? I mean, that's just failure breeds success at the end of the day, and that's what we're going to continue doing. We're just going to learn from our mistakes. We're not going to stay down. We're going to get right back up, and we're just going to keep powering through and learning from what we've done in the past. So that's what we're doing. I'm super excited for the year to come in terms of that aspect as well too. And yeah, I mean, despite hardships, there's a lot to be appreciative of. First being all the people in my life that have been there since the beginning supporting me, whether it's with the channel, whether it's with any sort of help that I personally need or anything like that, just being a phone call away or anything like that, or just being someone there. I really appreciate everyone that has been there. Along with too, I appreciate every single one of you guys, you know, everyone that has been tuning in. This has been an incredible year in terms of content creation for this channel. So many people have been tuning into this channel and subscribing, and I truly appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I've got big goals for this channel. I always want to see this channel do well for the betterment of everyone as well too, not just for personal success reasons or anything like that. I just want to see great change in this hobby and be one of the more positive beacons for the hobby as well too. There's so many great people out there, but I just want to really hone in and do my best to do my part as well too. This hobby has done so much for me. I just want to do my part as well too in return. So that's kind of what we're going to do in the coming year as well too, is just keep on improving as well. And I really would appreciate any sort of help from you guys as well too. If there are any suggestions that you have for this channel, I have some brainstorming ideas that I have personally, but if there are some more suggestions for you, whether it's content or different things in terms of stylistic approaches or whatever it may be, I would love to hear it. So all ears, guys. I mean, I want to make content that I not only want to personally watch, but content that I want you guys to enjoy as well too. So we're all in this together at the end of the day. As we go into the year 2025, there's a lot of goals that I have personally and a lot of improvements that I have, starting with, again, like I said, the content creation of this channel and evolve this channel further and just constantly evolving and improving it. That's what I really want to do. Now, also too, in terms of the animal aspect of things, I'm always trying to retool things for them as well too, whether it's with the Stimson's pythons, making sure that we're doing utmost that we can to make sure we're having successful clutches, and same with the ball pythons as well too, making sure that they are all underway as well too, and making sure that we're doing some really fun solid things with them, and making sure all the animals are well taken care of and improving needs as needed as well too. All really achievable things this upcoming year. I'm keeping it pretty simple after the year that we had before, and really just making that the base, you know, just really taking care of the animals, improving the well-being of them, and taking care of myself along with improving this channel. That is going to be the big things. And then any of my other goals that I have personally that I really would like to get to, if they are within reach and something that I can start doing within this upcoming year, then so be it. But I think that's the biggest takeaway that I want to give to you guys before we start this montage is goals and aspirations and New Year's resolutions are something that normally people start on January 1st. Doesn't have to start on January 1st. You know, I've been working on these things well in advance just to make sure that this upcoming year is something for the books for sure. And that's my goal. That's my highest aspiration. I think we should all be striving for those things. And I want to hear from you guys personally. What are some personal goals and things that you guys personally have that you are wanting to achieve in this upcoming year, or things with your animals as well too, whether it's a project or some sort of thing with your animals? I want to hear those things in the comments as well. Like I said, guys, we have this highlight video. It's a big one. It's a beefy one for sure. I tried to trim it as much as I can, but there's just so much fun stuff, you know, and I love looking back at these videos as well too. It's just really fun to kind of see how things have progressed throughout the years as well too, and I just think it's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this highlight video with you guys. So let's sit back and reflect on the year that was 2024, and I'll see you at the end of it. And Brian, forever you are a legend, no matter what. I love you, man. I mean, you're great. You've been a great friend to me, great friend to so many people out there. You are always going to be remembered. There is no doubt in my mind. As long as there is breath in me, I will be speaking your name, and so many others will be as well. There is no one that will ever replace you, but I think it is important that not only we follow our own dreams and passions, but also to really hone in on what Brian is preaching, right? Being kind to others and being kind to animals and showing people that reptiles are not that scary. So really bringing that passion out in people that aren't necessarily reptile lovers in a nice, respectful way, and a way that would be appropriate to make a reptile lover out of someone that would once fear them, and bring out that curiosity in another person. That's what Brian would want about reptiles. I think it's something that's truly exciting for me personally, and people normally like to listen, you know? I mean, it's definitely something truly exciting to a lot of people, where that's not something they hear about every day, you know? It's not something that, you know, you get a new dog or something like that and you just talk about that for a short while. When you say you have snakes, people want to listen and they want to know more. So it's definitely really interesting when you have that catch line and then you kind of reel them in with that, and then you give them the information on why snakes or reptiles in general are not a scary thing after all. So that's what we're doing here, and that's what I want to continue doing with these outreach programs, is inspiring people to become animal lovers and reptile and snake lovers rather than reptile and animal haters at the end of the day. And that's what we're going to truly do. I can't get over this guy. I mean, this guy's probably about 8 years old now, but he is looking beautiful. He's got some beautiful colorations. I love the banana gene, and just mixing with pied, it's the best of both worlds for sure. I'm really excited to see the combinations we hit this year, hopefully with the clutches we get. So yeah, we paired Kristoff with those 2 Hetford pied females, and then we also have Mojo, my Mojave, that was paired with my lesser female. So maybe we'll hit on some blue-eyed leucistics. I'm definitely, if we do, going to hold back one blue-eyed leucistic. I always wanted to hold back one of Mojo's babies for sure, and I think that would be the perfect one to hold back. I've always wanted a blue-eyed leucistic for sure. Cannot stress this enough. You want to make sure that you are using a thermostat or a thermometer, depending on what you're using. You want to make sure that you are regulating the temperatures and monitoring the temperatures to make sure that it's not getting too hot, making sure that it's just warm enough, and it's not going to also set things on fire as well too. You want to make sure that you're setting up all these elements properly. That way you're making sure that you're preventing any hazards from happening, both for the reptile and yourself. And setting up thermometers in different areas of an enclosure is great. Maybe one on the basking area, maybe one on the cool side. That way you can see what the temperatures are in between and see where they can be for more of a basking side for the animal and for a cool side. That way you can see and monitor the temperatures and make sure they are where they should be properly for your animal. And no matter if it's a heat lamp or a heat pad or whatever the heating element may be, you want to make sure that the heating element does not come in direct contact with your reptile. And a perfect example of this would be heating rocks. So heating rocks have been in the reptile industry since the dawn of time. There has been a lot of casualties and issues with these throughout all this time. I don't know why people still sell these things, truthfully. There are so many better options, safer options I should say too, and I've seen so many different casualties and bad stories happen just from heating rocks alone. And the problems come because heating rocks don't have the ability to monitor the temperatures internally. They don't have an internal thermostat on these guys. So these things just shoot up in temperature really, really hot. Your reptile will come in contact with these things and it'll cause burns. It could even kill your reptile and cook your reptile. It's not a good thing whatsoever. So I would say the best thing to do is to avoid heating rocks altogether. Going back to just this corn snake alone, I am so excited to see what this guy looks like as an adult. I mean, it's a really, really exciting thing for sure. I'm honestly really hooked on these guys, to be honest with you. I would love to get a couple more for sure in the future at some point. I think they are just great in general. And me personally, I've had corn snakes growing up, and getting back into these guys and having this guy right here has just really nipped an urge to get more for sure. I mean, it's just definitely given me that love bug effect for sure, just revisiting this species. I mean, colubrids in general, I've always had an interest in all sorts of different ones, and that's kind of why I wanted to have a little bit of a variety in terms of these shows and programs and stuff like that, to work with a whole bunch of different things I haven't worked with in a while. And this is definitely taking the cake for sure. Right here is one of my Stimson's pythons. This is my male right here, and this little guy is just a trip. I mean, I love the Anteracia species for sure, and I'm so stoked when I finally got into these guys because they are just a really cool species of snake, that's for sure. And I'm so excited that I've been able to start breeding these guys, and we're going to be updating about these guys in a coming video as well too, so stick around for that, and I'll be updating the progress of breeding these guys because it is going to be a really exciting thing. This male has been a powerhouse all year, but kind of going back to the topic at hand here, this is one of those species that I've always had a fascination with, you know? I mean, a lot of Australian species I have a fascination with for sure, and this was definitely one on the bucket list to keep and work with for sure. And it's not even necessarily about breeding these guys. I mean, yes, I wanted to work with these guys and I wanted to learn about breeding these guys, but not every species that I work with is necessarily ones that I want to necessarily breed. You know, there's some that I just want to keep just to keep. But the only reason necessarily that I'm breeding these guys is because I think they are super underrated, and I really want people to expand their horizons. I wanted to expose people more with species like this right here, where I give my 100% stamp of approval that these are a really cool, underrated snake for sure. They just don't get shown off enough. I mean, they are just truly incredible, very, very cool, very very curious species of snake as well. And I mean, they stay. This is an adult, so a very manageable snake as well too. And if you guys watched last week's video, I was talking about these guys right here. This is my Stimson's python male right here. If you guys remember, a couple years ago, I got these Stimson's pythons from Travis from TK Exotics, and these guys have been a dream species to work with for sure. I love Anseracea, and working with Stimson's pythons like these guys right here has been an absolute treat. So right off the bat, I want to give you guys the news that I have just literally opened up the tub again for this girl right here, and look how plump she is. Now, she hasn't eaten probably in about 2.5 months now, but she doesn't look like that. She looks really thick, and you can see that her scales are kind of coming apart a little bit, and she's really expanding. So she already went through what I believe is her pre-lay shed. So within a couple weeks here, we should be expecting our first ever here at NJP Exotics Stimson's python eggs. How exciting is that? I don't know about you guys, I'm super stoked about that. So let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 9 eggs. 9 great eggs. Mama, you did so amazing. Oh my gosh. This is incredible, guys. My first Stimson's python eggs. I cannot believe this. We're just going to put these over here, move Mama away, and eventually we're going to wash Mama off. That way she doesn't smell like eggs or anything. I'm going to put the phone down again. Gently, super gently, take apart these eggs. They are coming apart pretty easy, but you want to be super careful. So that one we are able to get off, but I think I'm just going to leave that top one on there. If something goes wrong, maybe I can move it down the line. I don't really like tearing apart the eggs. It always drives me up a wall, and it's so nerve-wracking for sure, but I know sometimes you just want to do that, but we should be okay, you know? I think we'll be totally fine with these guys. We're just going to pop them in the incubator, and we should be totally fine. And we're also going to wash off Mama and get her back on food so she can get back the calories that she lost from cooking these amazing eggs. And the gestation period, or the time it takes to incubate these eggs, is going to be about 45 to 50 days, so just under 2 months. So it's going to be a super quick turnaround. Believe it or not, it's going to happen before you know it, where these guys are going to be pipping and hatching out, and that's going to be really exciting for sure. This right here is a snake that I actually got at the March Tinley show a couple years ago now. This is my lesser clown that is possible yellow belly or gravel. We have to prove them out, but this is my amazing clown that I got, my first clown that I ever got actually as well. So he is a real treat to have. He's beautiful for sure. He's got some beautiful colors that have only gotten better with age for sure. He's just an amazing snake. I love the blushing and the patterning on this guy for sure. I actually got this guy at the US ARC auction, and that was a real treat because I've never won actually something from the US ARC auction, so winning this guy was a real treat. And I definitely recommend to you guys, if you guys are planning to come to the show, on Saturday night will be the US ARC auction, so definitely come. It's going to be a real treat for sure. I'm looking forward to going. It's always a blast. A lot of great laughs as well too. A lot of really cool stuff that people come together and donate and pitch together and put money towards. US ARC is a great cause. Obviously, if it wasn't for US ARC, we all wouldn't be doing what we're doing, that's for sure. So definitely come by, show your support. It's a good time for sure.
I really needed to come here. We love you, Lord. Yeah. I just really wanted the opportunity to come here and to really just tell all of you guys face to face
how much your support has meant to me and Brian. It was really overwhelming last year, the way you guys rallied around. And it means more than you know. And I appreciate it. He appreciates it. I love that we've been able to be a part of this community hobby for longer than maybe I want to say. From the infancy, and yes, but you know what, it's just like anything, you know, I'm so happy that you know, it's pretty much the entirety of my and Brian's whole relationship, you know, is circled around this, and many of you, like, right from the start, and it means a lot to me that you guys, you know, care and support us. I can't thank you enough, and I'm just very grateful, and I wanted to be able to tell each and every one of you that, just how much I appreciate that. So
We appreciate you. Yeah.
thank you.
Really cool to see, actually. So that was something that was off the bucket list, so really cool to finally see that. It was super tough, this show, coming home empty-handed without any animals. I had my eye on a few different things for sure that I'm still kind of checking out and kind of teetering on the fence about getting, but I'm going to keep being mysterious about that because I don't exactly know if I'm going to go and follow through with those plans or not. So if I do, you obviously will know in a few weeks here or not if I do, so we'll stay tuned about that. Just a really fun time overall, just to be there with everyone, just the energy. It was just one of those things where I was just really excited to get there because I love touching base with people in person, having that in-person interaction with so many different people, and just kind of reinvigorating my spirits. I always feel like I'm always bouncing ideas off of one another and just kind of always trying to evolve and grow in a positive manner for both me, my collection. I'm hopefully doing the same thing and inspiring others too when I'm talking to others as well too. This is one of the really exciting staples for this coming breeding season that I'm super stoked about, and we're going to talk a little bit more about her as time goes on and we get closer to the brand new breeding season. I know we are getting way ahead of ourselves worrying about next year's breeding season, but I just can't help it because this is a really beautiful animal that I have been itching to pair up with my clown pied male, and I am just super stoked about that and what's to come with this girl, because we have some beautiful things in the works that are going to happen with this girl, and I'm just excited to see the outcome with this girl as well too. So just really stoked about that. Really love this animal. She stands out to me even when she's in shed, and she is getting big, that's for sure. Early today, this was right after the lunar eclipse. I know, Mama, I know, you did so well. These eggs are nice and warm. We're just going to move her right there for right now, and we're going to count 2, 4, 6, 8 eggs. Oh my gosh, she actually blew me away. I thought she was going to lay actually a smaller clutch, but she actually gave us a little bit extra with this clutch for sure. You did so well, Mama. Oh my gosh, you look so great. I can see that she has a little bit of concaveness to her. I know she's a little irritated because I took her off her eggs. She's probably like, what did you do? Why are you taking me off my eggs? But we're going to get her all cleaned up here in a bit. But I want to just kind of check her out really quick and make sure that she is fully empty. But look how beautiful this mama is for sure. She is gorgeous. And I just love her for sure. And like I said, this is super rewarding for me, guys, because I personally produced this girl. And you can kind of see right there how empty she is. You can kind of see right along her inner scoots right there, on her belly scoots, where her concaveness is. And that's just showing right there that she is completely empty. So she did so well. She's got nothing left in the tank for sure, but she did really well. And like I said, guys, it's really rewarding because I personally produced this girl. So it's really rewarding to raise this girl up, and now she's finally producing eggs. So it's really cool to see a generation here at NJP Exotic, which ones were probably going to hatch, which ones were kind of on the fence, and which ones I really was confident on. Slowly but surely, as this time process went on, I mean, it wasn't an instant thing. There was just ones that just kept getting questionable as time went on, and unfortunately they just kept going and going and going until we were left with one egg, and it was looking solid, absolutely solid, for up until basically the past week. I would say, is really when I started noticing some issues. And there were some really weird issues because it was looking completely solid, wasn't showing any issues. It was showing signs of dimpling, which is normally a normal good thing to see as the egg is about ready to hatch. So wasn't really concerned about that. But then within the last couple days, I started seeing that egg really shrivel up. And I was really concerned about that. I've just kind of dreamed of owning, but never thought I was going to own this snake right here. So shout out to Garrick again for really working with me. Oh my gosh, I don't think the camera's going to pick up just the amazing coloration on this guy. And it's so exciting to get this guy back in my hands because I asked Garrick if he could bring this guy to Tinley, and he said he was going to bring this guy to Tinley anyway. And I was just blown away by this guy. He's just amazing looking. He's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, look at this guy right here. Can you believe it, guys? How incredible is this snake for sure? Just a stunner, absolute stunner for sure. And this right here is actually a ultramel pied, either het for hypo or hypo visually. And what a real treat this guy is for sure. Certain species that people just aren't able to keep, and maybe some people just aren't allowed snakes in their household, and that's totally fine. So this is kind of their escape, right? And I think we take those kind of things for granted for people who are able to keep certain species that people not necessarily are able to keep. So I definitely don't take it for granted for sure, and I just love working with the species that I do, and I just don't take any of those things lightly, that's for sure. And I'm just really excited because not only are we producing things, I think that's going to be really exciting, but I think we are going to start implementing and doing on a very small scale some educational programs throughout the summer. So I'm kind of getting things lined up to do those kinds of things on a super small scale. So I'm really excited about those kind of things as well too. So that's something that I'm going to be looking into more thoroughly this coming month as well, reaching out to some amazing friends that I have who do those kind of things for a living. So I'm super thankful for the network of people that I have in my life. But let's count this clutch really quick. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs. I was pretty close. I thought 10, but we got 9 solid eggs from Mama here. So Mama did so well. That is awesome. So I am just going to see if I can peel a couple of these just slowly here. Perfect. Look at these guys. Look how beautiful these eggs are right here. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just, every single time it gets me, you know, and it always will. And I mean, if it doesn't, I mean, I shouldn't be doing this. You know, no one should be, because this is always an exciting part. Like I said, besides the bruising all on my left side right here, I am totally okay. I'm so thankful about that. The other driver is totally fine as well too. We walked away just with bruising and some soreness, and I am so thankful for that. And I was so thankful that I can still take care of my animals, because that was something that I was truly worried about, is if I'm really going to be this banged up, will I be able to take care of these animals during this time period? And thankfully I was able to. It's been a few days since the accident, a lot of resting, and I have definitely been taking it easy, but I've been working slowly to make sure I can take on the workload that is my collection for sure. Now, what exactly are my plans if something were to happen? Obviously, I have a couple people that I personally trust, both local to me. I have a couple people out of state and out of town that I personally trust if something were to happen to me, to be able to either divvy up my collection to, or be able to make sure that someone is here to take care of the workload of these animals as well too. Working with the genetics that you personally want to work with at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you're the ones that are going to be working with these animals around the clock, and you're going to be taking these animals out, cleaning them, dealing with them, feeding them 365 days of the year. So you want to make sure that you're appreciating these animals for what they are and excited to work with these animals. Because if that's not the case, probably not something you should work with. Now, don't get me wrong, it is also too something that you want to realistically think about in terms of a financial sound decision for some people as well too. Obviously, there is some money that's involved with breeding projects, so you want to make sure that you are making sound decisions in terms of what the market is essentially trying to go for. So say for example, spider. The spider gene is something that normally people are not wanting to work with nowadays, so it's probably not a sound decision to invest in a whole bunch of spider combinations. Too much from these clutches from this guy, so there will be a lot that's going to be up for grabs this season. The other female that's paired with this guy is currently still on food. She's taking meals like a champ, so I assume within the next month here or so she's going to start getting off of food and she's going to start building even more. So but yeah, wow, what a wild month this has been. Things can kind of take a turn in an instant, you know, just life lesson in general. And I had that crazy car accident and car was completely totaled, and you know, thank God for myself and the other one involved. We are completely fine. I still have a little bit of arm pain, but I'm totally fine. I know people have been asking and questioning, but thank you guys so much for your concerns. But yeah, I mean, we really got off like scot-free, and I'm really thankful for how things planned out and stuff like that, for the sake of me and for sake of the animals as well too, taking care of all these animals. I mean, thankfully, like we talked about, I did have plans in place if someone needed to come here and take care of the animals, but I mean, it's really nice to be able to be standing in here myself and being able and capable to do all the work for these animals or anything unnecessarily. We're just going to cut a small little window on the eggs, like so. I'm just going to kind of cut in a triangular form. This does not hurt the babies whatsoever. You may see some fluid, you may see some blood. That may be if I hit a vein potentially. Right off the bat, this looks to be some sort of banana combination right here. So that's going to be pretty cool right there for sure. So we're going to leave this guy right over here. So if I had to guess on this baby, I would say it could potentially be a banana leopard. I don't necessarily see pied in it, but who knows? At the end of the day, we'll see when they come out. I'm not too worried about that. Now we're going to open up this guy right here. Just putting them to the side. They can come out on their own in a few days. We'll wash them off, let them sit all together until they're first shed, and then we will separate them and sex them accordingly. I tell you what, guys, it is super exciting. You can see a little bit of blood. That's just from a vein. Did not hurt the snake whatsoever. But I have been super excited to pop open these clutches. Oh, this is a pied. Looks like it is a banana pied of some sort. I'll kind of show the camera a little bit better there. You can see the veins on this guy, but yeah, that looks like a pied of some sort right there, so that's really exciting here, which really indicates that it is a leopard pied for sure. And it's just a really cool looking animal. I love that distinct dorsaling all along this animal. It's just so beautiful. I personally love higher white pieds for sure, and this one really has a really distinct looking pattern on this guy. It's definitely something really cool to see, and definitely something that I personally love when I'm trying to look for a pied, is something that's more with a lot more patterning rather than white on them. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool to see a higher white pied, but I personally love, in terms of the variability that pieds throw, I personally love a higher pattern pied like this guy right here. Just a real treat for sure, and a real cool snake. Full beautiful example of this animal. That's kind of what I like, is I have two separate sides of things that I want to work with, and I kind of work two different tiers of super bright stuff and super dark stuff. But at the end of the day, it is all up to you in terms of your interests and what you want to breed. Just looking into the different morphs out there, there's so many beautiful ball python genetics out there that you just want to research over and over, and hours that you can just kind of go into a rabbit hole of and just see what different combinations make certain things, see the pros, see the cons of different genes as well too, and how they affect other different things and other different pairings. That's a big part of all of this, is doing your research in general about how to breed ball pythons. The happy babies for sure. They look incredible nonetheless, and I couldn't be happier. I may be holding this one back. I may be holding this one back, depending. I don't know. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, let alone in general, what you guys think of these animals, as well as let me know down below as well too what you guys have been producing yourself, or what you guys are looking forward to producing yourself as well. I want to hear all those things down in the comments below. Actually, just before I made this video, I also just made a video cutting open the second clutch that's in the incubator right now, and it was a ripper of a clutch for sure. Hitting a vein on the egg itself, but nothing actually harming the baby. And again, these babies are more than ready to come out, so we are just going to open up here. Just a small little window. What do we have here? Looks like I want to say this is a lesser. It's very hard between lessers and Mojaves right when you're just seeing through the small window. Sometimes it's a little bit more blatantly obvious, but I would say that that right there is going to be a lesser between the two if I had to guess. It looks a little bit lighter, but obviously too, we'll know more once they come out, once they do their first shed. We'll know 100% what they are. Egg number 2 here. Currently not seeing in. Up, looks like a white snake. This is really exciting, guys, because the last time that I did this pairing, actually, I hit a blue-eyed Lucy, and unfortunately, it did not make it inside the egg. So seeing this all-white snake right here, that's a guarantee and a great sign that we did hit on a blue-eyed Lucy. So look how beautiful that is, an all-white snake, guys. How exciting is that? I have been lucky in the past that when we had to personally move, we knew our landlord personally. So it was someone that was doing flips themselves. We talked to them right up front. They showed them what we had and said, look, this is something that obviously we never want to get rid of, and this is not something that we ever want to go missing or anything like that, and it's well taken care of, and it's not going to cause problems. So he kind of saw it as a really interesting thing, and he was supportive of it, but still weary on it at this end of the day. But I mean, he was still open to it, open dialogue always about it. He could always come in and come see it if he ever needed to, but a lot of people are not so lucky in those situations, and I get it. So again, I think as a last resort kind of option, that may be something that's kind of an open door thing for you, just kind of seeing it in that kind of perspective. But I also want to hear your thoughts as well too, because at the end of the day, we want to be responsible keepers. We don't want to shine these animals more into a negative light than they already are. So you want to be a good representation of a responsible keeper at the end of the day. I'd like to share this girl for perspective of that as well for anyone that's thinking of getting an animal. It is a lifelong commitment for sure. This is a 30-year commitment nearly for just this snake alone. So always putting those things in perspective. I get it, situations do change, and the family that had these animals was doing a phenomenal job with these guys for sure. So ultimately, there was no issues with their care whatsoever. It just came down to life changes, and they just wanted to give this animal the proper home it could. And I was happy to take this animal in under my wing, and I was looking to rehome it, but then I just was thinking, I'm like, this is a great example and puts things in perspective for so many reptiles out there, that is very crucial to put these things in perspective, just to make sure that people really kind of have that idea put in their head and seated in their head that these guys are a true lifelong commitment. The last one from that clutch that is here is this beautiful one right here, and this is that blue-eyed Lucy. Oh my gosh, she is just gorgeous for sure. Love seeing those beautiful blue eyes and just how white she is right out of shed. I love the pairing of Mojave to lesser and getting that all white snake. When you do Mojave to Mojave, it's going to give that more purplish look to the snake. But in my personal opinion with blue-eyed Lucies, I really love this beautiful all whiteness all about them and stuff like that. But they're all beautiful and they're all right for sure. Blue-eyed Lucies have been around for a while and they're super cool, and they will hold their popularity forever, I would truly say, because of how beautiful and unique this snake is truly. And I'm just really rewarded and happy to have produced a couple of these myself, and having one right here in my hands that's beautiful, nice and healthy and moving and active. That's really rewarding for me. Such a treat for sure, and I'm super stoked to raise this little one up, displaying the best care. But they're coming for answers. They're coming with their questions. They're coming with their concerns. They're trying to do better. And I see people just cussing them out. I see people just bashing them, really just making them feel like garbage. And I understand that they are not necessarily keeping the animal in the best way. Now, I totally get it. People should be doing their research, and I'm sure in some sort of way or another they are. Maybe it's just there's a lot of old school research out there. A lot of people are keeping things in certain ways that are from way long ago. Maybe they got some bad advice from a pet store, from someone that's really good at making a sale. You know, I've seen those things, you know, but people don't understand that perspective, right? They see someone with a bad setup and they're like, oh, immediately let's bash this person. Let's just really make them feel bad and really just put them down so that essentially you just hear nothing back from them. They go quiet, they feel too vulnerable to reach out to ask another question. Mystery snake right here. So he was actually a little bit smaller when he came out of the egg. Now with a few meals in him, he's eating totally fine, he's totally healthy, completely active. I mean, this guy is a stunner, that's for sure. I've gotten mixed opinions about this guy. People are really like, wow, this thing is really, really incredible, but I have no idea what it is. People are saying potentially if this is just a simple banana leopard, this is the craziest banana leopard they've ever seen. This could be maybe even a one-off anomaly. This could be something more is in this project that I am currently working with that I maybe just am not aware of. But I personally have scoured the web, researched a ton. I personally have not come across something that has this amount of purple ratio to the rest of the coloration and the mutations. The way to do those types of things. I'm giving it properly sized meals that it would need. But again, kind of goes back to that time factor. As long as you are just slow growing these animals, making sure you're building those threads of trust with these animals and those experiences with these animals, they tone down and tame down pretty darn quick. I mean, this animal right now is not trying to set off to bite me or anything. This animal is totally, totally chill right now, and he's just being a curious little snake right now. 1 in a million for sure. He is gorgeous, and he is just checking out the camera, checking out the lights. He is just real curious, and I mean, he's just so intelligent. He's just very, very curious. What's not to love about this? A beautiful emerald green snake with a sapphire blue tongue. And as he calms down a little bit, you just gotta really be calm with these animals. He's very, very smart, very, very intelligent. And he did come to me many years ago. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know his story a little bit. But he did come to me as a wild-caught animal. He's really just kind of been habituated over the years too. So thinking about those things before purchasing that animal and seeing if you could take care of it throughout its whole entire adulthood. If you have a long, busy schedule and you have no one else that's going to be able to take care of that animal, it's probably not best for you to take care of that animal and take on that animal. Just for the sole reason of it's probably going to get neglected, unfortunately, and not going to be socialized for one, which is going to be a crucial thing for monitors, but also two, you're not going to give it the ample care that it would require as well too. They give them a lot of enrichment here, which really gets their mind going, which is wonderful. You know, it helps prevent boredom or anything like that. And just a really cool exhibit for a really cool cat for sure. One of my favorites, no doubt. Hopefully you guys are having as much fun as I am on this tour for sure. It's really one of those places where you just gotta be here and soak it all in. There's so much everywhere you look around. My eyes are just kind of bugging out and checking everything out as I'm kind of just soaking things in. It's one of those places that's truly breathtaking for me for sure. But we are walking up right now to the orangutan exhibit, and it is truly something. I can't wait for you guys to see this right here. Check this out. Oh my goodness, look how cool that is. All the orangutans are right here, so everyone's kind of watching them right now. But I just want to show you the exhibit first before I show you them. Look at this. This whole dome right here is made of steel and aluminum that was literally craned with a ginormous train in one piece to literally drop right on top right here. So a big crane just dropped this piece right on here when they renovated it. And it's definitely just a spectacle for sure. I just love what leopard does to combinations for sure, specifically with NJP as well in it, and she is just looking gorgeous for sure. She's definitely put on a tremendous amount of weight on her as well too, which is going to be great and exciting for some upcoming clown pie projects as well, mixed with NJP and leopard. I'm really excited because this will be the first year that we could hopefully hit some of those combinations for sure with this girl along with a couple others as well. So really stoked about that. Very exciting. But besides these snakes right here, there was another Australian snake that we also picked up, ironically from TK Exotics Travis, and that male is also one that I'm super stoked about, and just a real exciting project that I have been waiting years, and I mean years, to work with. And let me pull out that male right now and we'll talk about him. And this is that boy right here. This is Wally, my male Woma python. And like I said, this is a project that has been years in the making for me, and the reason being is because I had two gorgeous females, but the rest of them as well too of what we're going to have for sale, but we are going to be vending. Right when you walk in, it's going to be the Rainforest Junkies booth. I'll highlight it right here so you can see. You literally walk in, you turn right, you're going to find us for sure. But also stay tuned and follow me on my Instagram. I will be posting some videos to help find us as well too. We all have some really cool stuff at that table. If you're looking for these snakes, or if you're looking for other different species, frogs, amphibians, a whole bunch of other stuff too, there's going to be some really cool stuff at that booth, so make sure to check us out. out there. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be bringing some of the babies that I've been raising up that I produced this year, so this is one of them right here. I've finally decided which ones I'm holding back and which ones I'm not, but this is one of the babies right here. So this is the banana 100% Headford Pied male right here. Comparison here, so let's take a look at these two.
So you have the IMG Labby here,
Yep.
and then just the Labby over here. So you can see how it darkens it up quite a bit.
Oh, for sure.
But it's not giving it that solid black look. As you can see here, this guy's almost 2 years old.
Yep.
Or it'll be 2 years old. These are 23 babies as well.
Wow.
But I mean, even going into this, I mean, the motley, as you can tell, is helping keep that orange color in it.
Yep.
Where if it was a plain albino, it would start to fade a little more. It is fading, but the motley, like I said, motley, Key West, hypo, those will all help keep the orange in the snake longer. Okay, so this is a sharp albino IMG.
Guys, this is always a really exciting moment, is getting people into the reptile world, and we have two new reptile lovers right here who have picked up an amazing ball python. What is the name of this one right here?
Crystal.
That is a perfect name, and I am so excited for you guys, and please keep me updated on all the adventures that you and Crystal have. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Alright guys, so I am with Dustin Wells here, who, as you guys know, I got my first Woma python from, and he has some incredible Womas here this year. How many did you produce this year?
16 of them, out of 4 different clutches.
That's incredible. So you always have some really beautiful, beautiful Womas. So let's take a look at these right here. How old are these guys?
I want to say the first clutch started hatching June-ish.
As always, I always enjoy going to this show. Like I said, it's something that I always look forward to going to in October and March. There's very few things in the world that would keep me away from going to these events. It's something that I have truthfully been going to consistently. I think there's only 2 that I have not gone to since 2018. One of them being because of COVID, and the other, I think I just had some other crazy thing happening in my life where I just didn't have the ability to go. And I remember that time being something really, really hard to miss, because I was like, man, I wish I was there with everyone. Like a sponge. Gave off such an incredible persona just on camera and off camera too, from what I've seen, that was just unmatched and just unhinged. It was awesome. I loved his energy. I loved everything about him and all that he was standing for and trying to do. It was just truly incredible for sure. It's tough when these things happen, right? You know, there's no easy thing about these things. It's very devastating, you know, for so many people out there. It's a huge blow, you know, when these things happen, because of the impact these people make in our lives and in the world. He was making a tremendous impact in the world with all that he was doing and protecting wildlife.
Fire blocking the entrance, people can get out. Well, we looked at just putting in a fire escape. The city wouldn't allow that. So after we bought the building, we started raising some money again, and we had the money raised to put in this expansion. It's basically a stairwell, platform across, a new door on the second floor, which would basically double our effective display space, and was give some opportunity to do some other things with classroom type area and so on and so forth. Commissioned the architectural drawings and everything. We got those all done. Took quite a while to get them done for a number of reasons. And the original job, we were told, would be between $30,000 and $35,000. And we had about that much raised for the job, so we were all excited we get the drawings. And my contractor comes back with the estimate, he says it's going to be between $44,000 and $47,000.
Great. Unfortunately, I came back 2 days later and it regurgitated. Really bummed about that. Really worried about that. Normally not a good sign when you're seeing those types of things. And I was really worried. So the first thing that I knew to do was we had to rehydrate this animal. So I wanted to get this animal hydrated. So we soaked it, gave it electrolytes, totally fine. Everything seemed to be okay. Temporarily it seemed okay. And then I just came in the next day, and unfortunately the animal was found dead. And what do you do from there? You know, it's just a real bummer for sure. You can kind of see when an animal is about to go, and I was kind of witnessing that earlier in that day, where that animal just was not acting right whatsoever. Writing that I personally have not done in over almost nearly 2 years now. It's going to be 2 years this November I have not done this, and that is going and attending and vending the Cleveland, Ohio Reptile Show in Medina County at the fairgrounds there. I am so excited. It's just a show that I personally have not been around and able to attend anytime that I'm in town. It's always a bummer because I'm never there on the weekends that the show date actually is, so I'm always missing out on done the show, and I have for the past 2 years, but I really have been trying to for this whole year to get down to that show. So I'm really stoked to be going and attending and vending the Cleveland Reptile Show. So I'll be sharing a table with Mike Novi over at Rainforest Junkie, so definitely go check us out on December 22nd. The doors open at 9 a.m. I'm probably going to be there till noon myself. So I do want to take out. Let's kind of go to the other side of things on reasons why a pet reptile and pets in general probably do not make the best gifts, and kind of goes to that reasoning: are they ready and are they prepared? If they are not ready and if they are not prepared to take on such an animal and it's more of an impulse situation, probably not the best idea to get that animal for this person. You know, you want to make sure that they have all their bases well rounded to take on that responsibility. The reason is kind of what I said before. You want to make sure it is the exact animal that that person wants.
The VPI IMG Nexus. So the female is a VPI Sunglow Jungle, and the male is an IMG Motley 100% het VPI.
That is stunning. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful girl.
So with him, you can see the IMG and the Motley make a solid black snake.
Yep.
With incredible iridescence.
Yep, for sure.
I really hope the camera's picking that up.
Oh, it is, for sure. It's something that you have to really love these animals, and I cannot emphasize that enough, because there is a lot of care and a lot of financial things that go into a bulk load of animals, for sure. A lot of people say you want to grow into business, not go into business, and it's totally true, you know? If you start off with one snake and then you purchase 50 more snakes, you are about to enter a whole different perspective of what caring for snakes and reptiles in general is going to be like. Gearing up for that show, making sure everything and everyone is taken care of so I can pack and have a good peace of mind knowing that. It's always stressful. I don't do too many shows, and I give so many kudos to people who do 15, even 10, 5 shows a year. I mean, I do just a couple of shows if I do shows a year, and it can be super stressful. And so many people have this down to a science, where I give you guys such commendable credit for doing these things. And so there it is. Man, what a video for sure. And for everyone that stuck around to the end, let me know that you stuck around to the end. I want to hear, if you stuck around, what your favorite species of reptile is. Leave that in the comments below. And again, guys, I appreciate all your ongoing support. Thank you so much for tuning in today on this beefy video. I hope it was enjoyable for you guys as well too. If you guys could do me a few favors, if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Definitely check us out on our social media as well too. I'll be posting so many things there as well, and especially a lot more on the oncoming year as well, so definitely stay tuned there. Again, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe happy new year, and until next year, I will see you guys soon. Take care.